Good morning everyone, it's time for day 2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I said at the end of yesterday's vlog that my plan was to go to X2 first. I've been thinking about it overnight and that's not going to be my plan. My plan first thing this morning is to go to Twisted Colossus in the hope that it'll be on 3 trains and it'll be quiet enough to get a dueling. I really want to get a dueling ride on there. So yeah, that's kind of my plan first thing this morning. A little bit of advice for when you come to Magic Mountain is get here for about 9:30, about an hour before the park opens. That's when wait for the bus to go past. That is when the parking turnstiles open. So yeah, get here for then. Get in, get parked up, because it's about a 15-minute walk to the front entrance. So yeah, that's my advice for that. I've been getting down here around about 9:30ish, just 15 minutes before they open the gates. Yeah, get down there and get parked up and then walk up here, go through security, get all that done, and then stand around for half an hour or so at the front. Yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll see you at Twisted Colossus next. And then I had a look on RCDB yesterday. I only did 10 coasters yesterday. I thought I'd got more than that done. So the plan is Twisted Colossus first, and then hit Scream, Apocalypse, Viper, and Ninja, because they're the 4 main ones that I haven't done yet, I think. And then maybe see if I can get some kiddie coasters after that. And then do the water rides. My plan is to try and do them around about 11:30, 12 o'clock. I think that's when they'll be kind of not too busy, just before the peak warmth of the day. It's meant to be another hot day as well today, around about 35, 36 degrees from about 12 till 4. So hopefully the coasters are open again. It's a bit cooler tomorrow, so if there's any that aren't open today, I should be able to get them tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully it's not too busy, but it looks pretty busy coming in. So yeah, fingers crossed to see you at Twisted Colossus shortly. So 10:31, just got in the park, much easier than yesterday. I was first in the queue to get in. I was making sure that I didn't have anybody in front of me today. Straight in, walking down to Twisted Colossus first. Should be a good day. Didn't look as busy as I thought it was going to be, but we'll see see what happens with the rest of the day. Yeah, so as I say, head down to Twisted Colossus. It's going to be a hot day. It's 32 degrees and it's 10:30. So it's going to be even warmer than yesterday, but it's not going to stop me from having a good day. Just fingers crossed all the rides that I want to get on will be open. Yeah, Twisted Colossus, here I come. Just got down to Twisted Colossus. RMC opened in 2015. It's got a height of 121 foot, so it's on the smaller side in terms of height, but in terms of length, 4,990 feet of track. So should be good. Fingers crossed we get it dueling. So just had not 1, not 2, 3 rides on Twisted Colossus to start the day in 45 minutes, which is pretty good, I think. I managed to get a front row, back row, and a second to back row, and we did it. I managed to get a dueling ride on Twisted Colossus. Wow, what an experience that was. It really adds to it. Not quite in the same way that West Coast Racers does. West Coast Racers is a better dueling coaster, I think, but it really made the whole experience a lot more enjoyable, and that's what it's designed to be. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's crazy to think that that's only got 80-degree drop. It feels a lot steeper, especially on the front row. I'd say it's a front row ride as well. The train that I was on for the front row, the airtime was a lot more ejectory, if that makes sense. So you got pushed up into those elements and those bunny hills a lot more. You could really feel it. And I was more up down out of my seat rather than at the back, where it's a bit more floatery, so you're coming out and then gradually back down and then out again and then gradually back down. So yeah, it depends what you prefer really. I think the front row was a lot better, but as I say, I've just made up that I managed to get a dueling ride on there, that I wanted that yesterday when I saw it was on 3 trains. I've heard that's going to be a better experience, and it was. I think I'm going to head to Scream next. I saw a staff ride going around, so I'm going to see if that's open, see if I can take that one off. If it is, I will go and do that. If not, I'll have a look at the app and see what the queue times are like and head off to somewhere else. So fingers crossed I can get on Scream next. So just check the app and it says Scream's open, so I'm going to give it a go, even though there's nobody here. Classic B&M floorless coaster, this one. 7 inversions to get on here. And it is, I mentioned it yesterday, I thought it was a clone of Medusa, and it is a clone of Medusa. So I enjoyed Medusa at Great Adventure, so let's go and see what this is like. What brilliant ride that is. I said in the last clip that it was a clone of Medusa. It's not a direct clone, it's a mirrored version of it, which is really cool. I didn't even know you could do that with coasters, but it totally makes sense that you could. Yeah, quite intense. Not as intense as Goliath, but reasonably intense. A little bit rough, has been operating since 2003, so is what, 22, 23 years old. But yeah, a good coaster. Nice to tick that one off of the list. And also I got a really cool experience that I've never ever had before, where I was the only person on the whole coaster train, which was awesome. I was on the front row. Yeah, I was the only person on there. The thing that I do like about floorless coasters is that obviously there's no floor, so it really feels like if you just stretch your legs out, you could kind of touch the track. At some point I was lifting my knees up. Obviously there's no chance that you can touch the track, but that's kind of what it feels like sometimes. Plan is to head to Apocalypse next if it's open, which is a GCI wooden coaster. Excited to try that one for definite, providing that it is open, but we will wait and see. Yeah, so going to head there next. Hopefully see you at Apocalypse. So my plan was to obviously go and do Apocalypse, but that's the only coaster that's closed at the minute. It is 10 to 12, so I'm sticking to my original plan of going and doing some more rides. Hopefully cool off a bit because it is baking hot. On my way down to Jetstream, I had a quick go on Wonder Woman because it was walk on, so it'd be rude not to. Just gonna have a look at Jetstream, see what. Train to go. So another walk-on ride by the looks of it. I'll tell you about Jetstream when I get off as well. See you in a second. So just come off of Gold Rusher, which is the Arrow mine train here. Yeah, that was actually quite a good mine train. Hugs the terrain really well. Gives great views of the construction site for that new coaster they're building that I mentioned yesterday. So that's really cool. Jetstream was brilliant as well. You sort of go up the lift hill, go down a sort of a little mini drop, and then you kind of go through a bit of like a rapid section, which is quite cool, before you stop and go into the main drop, which I should have put a couple of clips in. I'm hoping that bit doesn't get copyrighted because it's got just here full throttle there. It's got some copyrighted music in there, so fingers crossed that doesn't happen. This is the bit of full throttle that you don't really get to see. It goes backwards. You go forwards, which is quite cool. Also with Jetstream, you got quite a nice sprinkle. It wasn't like, I've dried off now, and I've only been on Gold Rusher, but it was quite nice to get a little bit wet and cool off just a little bit, just for a few minutes. It feels much hotter today, even though it's only a couple of degrees hotter. It does feel much hotter. My plan is to go and do Ninja next, so I'm a bit of an aerodynamic session, which will be cool. Looking forward to doing this one. Did Iron Dragon last year at Cedar Point, which was good. And I believe this is a similar model. It's an Arrow suspended coaster, opened in the late 1980s, I think, off the top of my head, maybe early 1990s. Yeah, so just go and get this classic ride done. In regards to queue time, so it is 12:15. Everything is pretty much 10 minutes or less, apart from Full Throttle, which is 35, and X2, which is 120. I'm guessing that's because X2's on train, so I'm probably going to give that a miss today. I might do it again tomorrow. But as I said yesterday, I really wasn't blown away with it. So let's go and have a go on Ninja, and then maybe do Viper after that, but we'll see. Just walking up here to Ninja, see where it gets its name now, Magic Mountain. It's like a massive mountain in the middle, so over the other side of that mountain there is the main entrance. And obviously down there, you probably can't see it very well, but you've got the DC universe down there. You got West Coast Racers stuff that way, as well as Apocalypse. One thing I did have a look at was that Dive Devil thing. $35 for a go on there. That is crazy. Like, absolutely mental. I hate upcharge attractions anyway. I think that it should be included. But $35 for one go on there. That is absolutely crazy in my opinion. So yeah, if you were expecting to see a review from that, you definitely won't be. It's quite nice and well themed up here, to be honest with you. Painted quite nicely. I mean, it's not going to be world class, is it? It's Six Flags, but it's quite nice. Yeah. See you when I get off Ninja. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. I'm absolutely gutted that I'm not getting on that. That would have been absolutely a world class attraction, I'm sure of it. As I said yesterday as well, if there's rides that you want to go on, do not put off going out there and getting on them. I've come to this park for so many years for various things, and regret not coming and getting on there. It's going to be interesting to see what replaces it, and are they going to keep Lex Luthor for how much longer? Obviously it's the tallest drop tower in the world, so it'll be interesting to see if they do keep that. Obviously it's still operational, I got on it yesterday. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to put in place of it, probably in the next 2 or 3 years. Just had my first ride on Ninja. Absolutely love that. Preferred Ninja to Iron Dragon. It's a classic aerodynamic suspended coaster. It was awesome. The thing that I really liked about it as well is you got like a little lift hill, which I should have just shown you, and then you kind of whiz around all the trees going down. It really hooks the terrain really, really well. And then you come into the brake run and then go up the main lift hill back into the station, which is really unique. But yeah, just really, really good fun. Yeah, enjoyed it, and for a ride that's what 40 odd years old, it was running quite well. A little bit shaky in places, but for a ride that's 40 years old, really, really well looked after by the park quite clearly. I'm going to go and do, I keep calling it Vortex. Vortex is not the right one. Viper it's called, which is another classic Arrow looping coaster, so similar to kind of the corkscrew models, but I think it's a custom layout, which will be good fun. So I'm going to head over there next, give that a go, and then maybe grab some lunch after that. Viper, which is the classic aerodynamic coaster here, the classic looping coaster. Crazy to think that it's over 180 foot tall. I didn't expect it to be that tall, but it was rough. That's the first one, apart from X2, that I've done that was a proper headbanger. Really, really hurt. Got 7 inversions on there. It's got 3 loops, 1 back wing and a double corkscrew. Yeah, and opened in 1990, I think. So it's what, 35 years old? Yeah, 35 years old, but it was rough, that one. yeah, it's the first one I've got off and it really hurt my head. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I mean, when I was on Viper, I had a look over at the X2Q and it's gone down massively. It says 120 minutes on the app, but it's definitely not. It's probably half an hour. So I was debating on doing that, but I don't really know if I want to with the ride that I had on it yesterday, towards the end of the day. So I think I might get something to eat, and then I need to do something that's not Arrow. So I'll probably go and do Twisted Colossus maybe again. I keep going back there, but it's the ride I enjoy here the most. And it's mental to think that Viper is, what, 50, 60 foot taller than Twisted Colossus. But Twisted Colossus is such a better ride. So wherever I end up next, I'm sure I will let you know. Decided to get some food rather than head into Twisted Colossus, so just had some sort of burger, rocket double I think it was called, which is just basically a cheeseburger. I've then just come over here to Roadrunner Express, which is one of the last couple of credits that I need to get. I'm not bothered about the kiddie coasters, and from what it looks like you need a kid to ride them, so yeah, I'm not bothered about that. So I'm going to do that in a second. And then after that I'm going to go to the merch shop at the front to, one, cool off because it's 36, 37 degrees, and two, I just thought it'd be quite cool to show you. I made a few purchases yesterday, so I'll show you what I bought, and there's a couple of things that I'm debating on whether to buy, so I'll show you that as well. One thing that I did buy when I was just getting some dinner was this, which is the Six Flags refillable drinks thing that they do. I wish I'd seen it yesterday. So you pay $19, I think it is, for today, and then you can pay $7 every time you visit to any Six Flags park to basically reinstate it, reuse it. So obviously if I'd seen it yesterday, I'd have bought it yesterday and then done today and tomorrow. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to buy it today and then I'll pay again tomorrow so that I can use it again tomorrow. And then I'm planning on coming back to America later in the year and doing a few Six Flags parks, so I'll bring it back with me and then just basically pay as you go. You can get a purple season one for, I think it's about $45-ish, but I'm not sure how many Six Flags parks I'm going to do, so I just decided to get this one and then I'll just pay for each use. So yeah, I'm going to jump on Roadrunner. I'm not going to give you a review of it because it's just a family coaster, and then I'll head to the merch shop and you will see me there next. Okay, so I wasn't going to film an update from Roadrunner Express, however something quite cool happened. Well, cool from my point of view anyway, being a bit of a roller coaster nerd and things like that. So before we got on, the ride host was saying that it could only accommodate so many adults. I was a bit confused by that, but it kind of makes sense now as why. And then the next train absolutely filled the train with people. So we obviously went round. It's 2 lap special, so we did the first lap and then second lap, and then we came back into the station and overshot the brakes by quite a bit. Well, when I say quite a bit, it was probably what, 5-10 centimetres, but obviously you need to be in the brakes to be able to for the lap bars to lift and for us to be able to get off the ride. I was sat on row 1, so I actually was past the end of the station, and then we had to get evacuated off the ride, even though it was only a small evacuation. The first time I've ever been evacuated off of a ride, so that's something to tick off the bucket list. But it was really cool for me to just see how they go through the whole lockout process and all that sort of stuff. So the guy came, turned everything off, put his padlock onto the anybody who's worked with anything kind of big electrical wise will know there's a isolation switch, put his padlock onto there, so there was no way for the ride to start. And then yeah, we basically all got evacuated off of the train. For me, I had to step where you shouldn't step, if the ride was working normally, and then kind of walk back round. I'll kind of just spin you around so you can see. So as you can see that you've got the black gates just there, or the black gate, and then those steps. I got off on the step side and then walked back round. So it was only a couple of steps that I took in sort of places that you shouldn't walk normally. But yeah, that was quite a cool experience and a cool thing to see. And the person that was doing the lockout apologised afterwards and just said, look, don't worry about it. It's one of them things, and I kind of enjoyed seeing the process. So yeah, quite cool really. I mean, if you really want a review of the ride, it was just a decent kids coaster, family coaster, whatever else you want to call it. Yeah, it was all right. It's a credit. And I think it's going to be down for quite a while now, so I was kind of lucky that I got it when I did. To the merch shop. So there's some really, really cool merch in here. I've already bought one of these mugs for Twisted Colossus. I think looks really cool. They don't have a t-shirt for Twisted Colossus, which is a shame, because I definitely would have got that. I also got this X2 mug, which is pretty cool. Again, wasn't the biggest fan of X2, however, it's nice to get a mug just to say you've done it. I'm debating whether I buy this X2 t-shirt. Again, I'm not sure if I do want to get it or not, because as I say, I'm not the biggest fan, but it is a talking point, isn't it? I did get this Tatsu t-shirt, I think that looks absolutely epic. It's awesome. Tatsu, fly at the speed of fear. 6 Flags Magic Mountain. Really cool. And then I'm also debating on whether to get this Tatsu hat. The finger's just stuck on. Because I've really got one theme park hat on it, which is obviously what I'm wearing. Which, as you can see, is King of the Car themed. But in regards to, up there. Sorry about that. In regards to the rest of the stuff, it's not actually that much merch. You got all of that for Tatsu and Goliath and things. You got a little bit over here, a little bit for West Coast Racers. That's about it. For the decent merch, I mean, there's plenty of other stuff, as you can see, but the rest of it is not actually Six Flags themed. It's all kind of just, well, it's Six Flags themed, but not in roller coasters here. It's all just generic stuff, and lots of DC stuff. I've got loads of the Flash, which I don't quite understand because there's no Flash ride here. It doesn't really make much sense. So, but hey, at least it's cool in here. So let me know what you think. Would you guys get that hat, and would you guys get that t-shirt? Doesn't look like I'm going to be getting on Apocalypse the ride today. Hopefully that opens tomorrow. Since last spoke to you, it was about 2.5 hours ago or so. I just basically chilled out for a bit and sort of cooled off. Even though it's only a couple of degrees hotter than yesterday, it still feels so much hotter. I've just had another go on Tatsu back row. Really enjoyed that. Again, I just didn't find the pretzel loop that intense. It was just good fun, and really enjoyed it. Yeah, we've got what, 3 hours or so left. Gonna head over to Twisted Colossus, I think. I'm hoping now it gets a bit cooler, the rides might be a little bit more reliable rather than sort of go somewhere and it closing and whatnot. I am down here by Apocalypse, so I'm gonna have a look at West Coast Racers first. It says 45 minutes on the app, so we'll see. Might do that again. If that is 45 minutes, I'm not waiting 45 minutes. I'll go and do something else that's got a shorter queue. So yeah, we shall see. So, just had another ride on Wonder Woman Flight of Courage and Batman the Ride. I got a front row on Wonder Woman, which is really cool. My plan tomorrow was to actually start down here at Wonder Woman in the hope of getting a front row, but I've ticked that off of my list to do. Really good on the front row. Can't believe this opened 3 years ago. I thought it was newer than that, but yeah, 2022 it opened. I don't know how steep that first drop is, so I'm wondering if it gets vertical. It gets close to it. I don't know if it actually gets too vertical, but it's very, very steep, that first drop, and you really notice it on the front row. And the first part of the layout is good, but my favourite bit is you go through the mid-course brake run. It's only running 2 trains, so it didn't slow it down at all. You kind of then sort of bank round to the left and come back on yourself, and you go into kind of, I think it's 3 airtime hills which are banked, and one of them is just a normal airtime hill. And those 3 airtime hills that are banked very much give me sort of Steel Vengeance vibes. That big outer bank airtime hill that you come across right after the first drop on Steel Vengeance. It is very, very similar to that. Not quite as good as the one on Steel Vengeance, but it is very, very good. And then Batman the Ride. I can't believe that opened in 1994. Like, over 30 years old. That's incredible. It opened the same year as the original Nemesis. It doesn't have the rattle that Nemesis had before it went. It's smoother than Nemesis was before it went. Yeah, I'm really, really surprised that I was in row 3, on my own in row 3, and just, yeah, a good ride. My plan was obviously to go do Twisted Colossus, but I walked over there and that was like 45 minutes to an hour queue, so I haven't done that. I'm not sure. I'm either going to do Goliath or Twisted Colossus next. I'll probably do Goliath, to be honest with you. Yeah, and give that Giovanola Hypercoaster another go, because I really enjoyed it yesterday. So that brings day 2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain to a close. Finished with 2 rides on Twisted Colossus at the end of the day. That thing is flying around the track right now. Wow, really, really warms up throughout the day. I did not think that would be able to go that quick, but wow, that was insane. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed today as well. I was sort of writing a few notes ready to do a review of Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I just sort of put on there that even though this doesn't really have a kind of a standout ride, they have a lot of good rides and some really good rides. Those last 2 rides on Twisted Colossus at the end were brilliant. Before that, I had a go on Tatsu. Funny story on Tatsu. So the couple of trains in front of me, there was a kid who must have been about, I don't know, 14, 15, clearly bought a meal from somewhere with like a burger and fries. He hadn't finished eating it, so he put it, he'd eaten half of it, put it on the in the baggage hold, and went to go and get it to keep eating it afterwards. And he didn't look good when he came off, and he'd walked down the stairs, and I think he was a little bit unwell. Yeah, a bit of advice is don't go and buy a meal and then get in a queue line for an intense roller coaster. Yeah, not a good idea. And then after that, I decided to make my way down to Twisted Colossus to finish the night, but on the way stopped off at Goliath. Had another absolutely wonderful ride on that coaster. It is the surprise of this park. There's been 2 surprises. One has been X2 hasn't been great, and the other one has been Goliath. Absolutely blown away by that, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, overall had a really, really good day. Got so much done that I wanted to get done and ticked off. Front row Wonder Woman was also a good one to tick off and get that done. Another couple of goes on Batman. Yeah, it's been, queue times haven't really been that bad, to be honest with you, either. I was thinking of Saturday, nice weather. Yeah, I thought it'd be longer. I think the max I've probably waited has been 15-20 minutes. I was going to do the rapids, but that closed. The proper evac of the rapids, life jackets and everything. So I came out of that queue, and that's when I decided to do Tatsu and Goliath, and 2 goes on Twisted Colossus. Twisted Colossus definitely fits in number 9 on my top 10. So it's always nice to get a new addition to the top 10. Yeah, just to kind of sum it up, really good day, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it again. Tomorrow's plan is, I think I'm going to try and start with a front row ride on Tatsu, probably. And then, is there any other front rows that I want to do? I don't think there is really. Tatsu's the main one. I think I've done Batman, I've done Twisted Colossus, done Scream, done Riddler's Revenge, done Wonder Woman. I mean X2 maybe, but I think X2 you'd get the same experience wherever you sit, to be completely honest, with the way that the seats work on there. So yeah, I'd give today an 8 or a 9 out of 10, to be completely honest with you. It's been absolutely brilliant. Operations have been great again. Most things on 3 trains, if they can run 3 trains. If not, it's been on 2 trains. I don't know about X2, I haven't gone near X2 today, so that might be on 1 train, but I think there's technical problems there. Yeah, brilliant day. Super excited for day 3 tomorrow. Just to tick off these last few things. Oh, Apocalypse, I need to do Apocalypse tomorrow as well. Provided that it's open. That's the last coaster credit that I've got, apart from the 2 kiddie ones, but I'm not doing them. Yeah, so plan is start on Tatsu front row and then head to Apocalypse provided that it's open. I'd like a few more goes on West Coast races. I haven't done the front row on there, so I'll do that as well. So yeah, if you've got this far in this video, please leave a like, please drop a comment as well, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. As I say, tomorrow I'm at Six Flags Magic Mountain again, and then I'm off to Disney after that. Should be good.